So if you're a business owner that sells a service for more than 4 figures, you need to watch this video. My name's James White and I'm a small business sales expert. I work with business owners who consistently sell their services for over 4 figures time and time again. So if you like the video and think, yeah, this guy's helpful at being able to help me as a business owner sell, subscribe to the channel and let's get you videos every week that can help you get better business and sales results. So when you're selling a service for a large amount of money, the most important thing to start off with is that you have to be confident and assured about the service that you sell yourself. I'm a sales mentor and I work with clients for large 5-figure sums every month. And people say to me, well, how do you get the results and the income for doing that? And it's because I'm confident and knowledgeable about what I do and I know that I deliver great results. I've practiced saying my price on a regular basis. My price for that service is £6,000. My price for that service is £8,000. My price to deliver that talk is £10,000. If you mumble the words, oh, it costs £3,000 or it costs £2,000 and look uncertain, your prospects will seize on that. So the first tip is get confident about that. Repeat it in the shower, while you're on the loo, while you're out for a walk, while you're making your tea, do wherever. When you get confident, prospects feed off that confidence, and if they're confident and they can see that you're feeling good about it, it gives them an assurance that actually maybe these guys are really good and I need to take them seriously. It makes a difference. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is this. You have to accept when you're selling a higher priced item that your prospects are going to go on a journey. The biggest mistake that I see small business owners make on a consistent basis is they try and sell too early. You wouldn't try and cross a 6-lane road in one go because the chances are you're going to get knocked down. You'd go to the first stage and then you'd look and then you'd see and then you go to the second and third stage. When you're selling a higher price service item, you have to accept your prospect is going to go on a journey. They're going to go on a buying cycle, a buying process with you. And that buying cycle, that sales cycle can sometimes take months. For example, if you're selling maybe financial services into other businesses, it can take 12 to 18 months. In my business, my sales cycle can take 3 to 4 months. People want to learn about my content and see who I am and what I'm doing and get to meet me before they feel comfortable doing that. And your service business is no different. If you meet someone tomorrow and expect to do business with them the day after, you're probably going to lose out on the opportunity. They're going to search for you. They're going to find information about who you are. They're going to talk to other people because they're investing a large amount of money. They want to be sure they're going to get the right result. Point number 3 is this. I was told a saying once, which I really like and I encourage you to think about. Success leaves clues. Go and have a look at some of the most high expensive services out there. Services like maybe like NetJets, who sell private jet services to people, or some of the most high priced courses out there in the marketplace. And look at those companies and how they do it. How do they approach it? What are the things that they put in place to get the prospects and the people they're talking to and their potential customers feeling comfortable about what's happening? What are the actions that they take? I really encourage you to learn from some of those experts, some of those companies that sell services at very, very high priced items. And the best way as small business owners is to see who's gone through that process and that work, and they've spent millions learning how to make their craft work in a certain way. So look at how other companies do that. Search for companies that sell high priced services. Look at the types of wording they use, the approach they take, how they position their people and their brand. Success leaves clues. Those guys are experts at it, and if you can take some examples from them and adjust that with your own sales tools and the work that I'm talking to you about, you can hopefully get the same results as them as well. So point number 4 is this. When you're selling a high ticket service item, you have to be consistent all the way through the sales process. What do I mean by that? I once worked with someone that sold a really, really high service item, but their website had loads of spelling mistakes and errors. And when I looked at their social media, it hadn't been updated for a while and the picture looked really old and basically a bit rubbish. And when I had a conversation with them once, they literally looked like they'd just been thrown through a hedge backwards. And the reality is my message to them was, if you want to sell a high ticket service item, you've got to make sure that the curtains match the duvet. The experience has got to feel quality at high value all the way through the process. If you try and sell someone something that's £5,000, but they see an experience that makes them think it's £50, it's going to put doubts in their mind that when they put their money with you, they're not going to get the return they want. So So focus on your social media, your website, the presence and the profile that you give and the environment you give. And does that stand out and say quality? Does it stand out and say this person's really worth the large amount of money they're trying to sell their service for? If it doesn't and it falls apart, the chances are it's going to put doubts in the mind of the prospect and make them think you're not worth it. Point number 5, and it's probably one of the key critical elements of all sales, whether you're selling products or services, is people aren't buying the service and they're not buying the product either. What they're buying is the end result that your service gives them. So don't focus on the service and the features and all the things necessarily that you do. You may need to include that to give the person the confidence that you can cover those aspects, but focus on the outcome that's going to give them. When you're selling a service, for example, the service I'm buying from Jack here today, who's working as a videographer for me, the service I'm buying is a great video that looks good and that makes me look good. That's what I'm buying from Jack, not the time and effort that he's working on with his camera. By the way, Jack, hope that tip's useful. But the point being is this, that's what I'm buying. I'm buying the end result, the impact, the outcome of having a video that other people think is great and that positions me and what I do in the right way. People don't buy your service or what you do, they buy the outcome that it gives them. And your job as a business owner is to focus on the emotions. How can it make someone feel? How can it help someone get to a place where they feel great about what you've done? And when they do, and you get those emotions of joy and happiness and pride and satisfaction, you're going to be in a far better position for them to say, yeah, I'm happy to spend that money again and again, because they know those feelings, what it gives them. People buy the outcome, not the service. Focus on that, you're going to get better results. Point number 6 is this. You have to be really clear on your value and what you sell. I have a client that works in the recruitment space, and she charges on average 10 to 15% more than other people. And a number of times people will say to her, well, why would I pay that extra for that service when I can get it down here for this amount? And what she talks about are the real pain points that the CEOs and business owners that she works with have, which is time. Invariably, it's not the money when they're having to recruit someone, it's the fact if they get it wrong, they have to go through the process again and again, and that time just is costly for them. And she talks about how her service basically de-risks and makes that problem go away. So they're happy to spend a bit more because they don't have to repeat the process and go through the same pain. That's her value. And she's able to do it, and she works in a unique way, and she's able to show the other person why it's worth spending that amount of money on her service. You've got to be in the same position. You've got to see where your value is. You've got to own your own value. You've got to be able to share with people that actually what you give is, even though you might be a little bit more expensive than other people, the value is in X, Y, and Z. And providing X, Y, and Z is important to that other person and makes them feel good, there'll be a match there and you can work together. The key thing is own your value, know what you're good at, and be able to share that difference. And if you can, it's going to help you sell, it's going to help you do it consistently, and it's going to help get those 4-figure numbers right into your bank account on a regular basis. Point number 7 is this. You have to de-risk it for them. When people are buying a service, they're thinking, if I spend this £10,000, what happens if it goes wrong? And oh my goodness me, I don't want to be in a position where I buy this and it doesn't deliver the right result. And people don't buy things because they don't think it'll work for them, or they can't picture themselves in that situation, or they just don't think it will happen to them, or it'll be as good as you've told them it will be. So what you've got to do is de-risk it for them. You've got to take them on a journey. You've got to take them on a path. You wouldn't expect to climb Mount Everest from literally the ground level 0 up to the 27,000 feet that Mount Everest is. You go to base camp 1 and base camp 2 and base camp 3. You should be able to talk to your prospects about saying, we're going to get to point 1 and the investment required is this, and then we're going to get to point 2 and that's the further investment of this, and point 3 and point 4 will require a further investment, which is in total this, but the end result for you will be this. And when you start to de-risk it for them and make the prospects feel, well actually yeah, this isn't actually as bad as I thought, people start to warm to it and engage. And especially if you can give proof and evidence of others who have been through that same journey, they're more than inclined to buy from you. De-risk it for them, show them how it can be, give them examples of it, and you're going to be in a far better position to sell the service you want for the amount you want to. And the final point, point number 8, when you're trying to sell a high ticket service priced item, is you have to picture things for your prospects. One of the things that when I talk to people about the services that I sell, and by the way, my services aren't overly expensive. By the way, if you're interested, have a little look on our website or reach out to me and we can share some more details around how we can help you. But one of the things I'll do is I'll talk about scenarios. So for example, I'll say to people, you know, that situation where you've just come off that sales call and you're feeling deflated and you're feeling down, can you imagine a situation in a couple of months' time where you're feeling great and you've put your hands back on your head, on your desk, and you're walking around feeling incredible because you've just closed that deal at the price you wanted to? How would that make you feel, John? People go, well, that would be amazing. And I get them to picture a scenario where when they're using the advice and the information that I share, they're able to be in that position. And of course, they then say, well, how will it happen? And blah, blah, blah. They'll give all these other elements. But by getting people to picture things and to see what something can look like, it helps them imagine in their mind that actually things can be different. And for your prospects, when you're selling services, because there's no physical element for them to touch and feel, they have to be able to see it in their own mind if they're going to invest and work with you. So give people scenarios based upon the problems and the challenges they've talked to you about. And picture scenarios where they can then start to think, actually, yeah, I could be in that position. And they start imagining and dreaming, oh, wow, I'd love to be in a position where that's happening and this is happening as they've promised. And it's then that starts to help them convince them their own mind that actually this is an investment worth making. When you picture things, when you show people that it can come to life, amazing things can happen. So there are my 8 tips on how to sell services that are high-priced items on a consistent basis. My question to you is, do you do these elements? If not, look at the video again, apply these elements and let me know how you get on. I know these elements work because they work for me and my business and they work for the clients that I work with. And I want to help get you and your business in that place. So let's take these thoughts on board. Let's apply ourselves in the right way. Let's get the value for you and your business that you deserve. And let's get consistent results on a regular basis that makes you feel good and helps making your prospects feel good. My name is James White. I'm a small business sales expert. Thanks for watching the video. If you've enjoyed the video, please like and share it with other people. And if you think it's helpful and look at some of my other videos and you think, this guy knows his stuff around sales, subscribe to that channel. Let's get you videos every week. Make sure we get you and your company to where you want to be.